So 1949, Chairman Mao built the new country, and he changed the name. He changed the name from Republic of China to People's Republic of China, because Chairman Mao believed this country belongs to people. He's not an emperor. He's not the king. He's a chairman. Yeah. So finally, Chinese people said, okay, we could take a break. And then in early 1950s, there were so many other problems happened. First, when the new country was built, Mao realized that we had a very big gap between the Europeans, between the Americans. So we had to develop the economy. But China was the new country of socialism, which meant everybody was equal. So Chairman Mao said, okay, it's a country of socialism. So everybody had to work together, everybody had to get the same food and get the same payment. So they were all working. For example, in each community, they have the same factory, they have the same cafeteria, so they don't need to cook at home. Everybody's eating together, working together. But this was a big problem. Because no matter how much you work, you will get the same amount of food. What's the meaning if I work harder, right? So they went to the farm and they worked for a certain hour, everybody went home. So they only focused on what I'm doing today, but I don't care about the future. I don't care about the harvest, because it's none of my business. Anyway, we will get the food. So this was the main idea of all the people in the whole country. And then Chairman Mao so the central government thought it was a great idea. We were building up a country, a perfect country of socialism. So everybody was happy because all the people got the food. Before that, there were so many poor, there were so many rich. But when the new country was built, everybody was equal, everybody was happy, except those original rich people, because all their property were taken by Chairman Mao. So those people, they lost everything. But the poor people, they got the thing which didn't belong to them. But this was a large number. So how Chairman Mao got the power and the support? Because he got the support from the poor, from the farmers who had no money. So they were very confident about the country. So they were building up a dream that the economy of the whole country was very good. So all the local governors, they were reporting that they had a very good harvest. Because it doesn't matter. They just need to give a good number. And then, the superior governor would thought, okay, you did a good job. So they didn't care about how much they've earned and what kind of harvest they really had. But all the people were making up all the numbers. So they reported to the government that a pumpkin could be 40 kilos. Everybody knew it was a lie, but it didn't matter. The government just needed a number. So if you reported, my pumpkin is only 4 kilos, the other would say, only 4 kilos, my pumpkin is 20 kilos. So that was a very ridiculous time. Everybody knew it was ridiculous, but nobody was saying any words. And then the whole central government, Chairman Mao, he was the top person. Nobody told him the reality. So he thought, okay, we were in a very good condition. And then, unfortunately, in the year of 1956, we had very, very big drought in most part of the country. So suddenly people no food. Very big drought. And the worst thing was that it was not allowed to do business, to do private business. It was not allowed to grow the food on their own. They must work together on the land which belongs to the government. All the land belongs to the government. But only when they say you can work on this land, they could do it. They could not work on the other land. to harvest more food for themselves. It was against the rule. And even if in this place there were enough food, but the others had the problem of the drought, but they couldn't buy from each other. That was also against the rule. So the drought was the reason that the most of the people were starving, but it was not the only reason. Because if it was the free market that everybody could do business, there are some people, they could buy the food from a rich place and then can sell or can lend to the place without food, and then they could pay back in the next harvest. Not so many people would die, but it just happened. So in 1956, in that period, Chinese people were creating their own dreams. And then many people died. And then after that, there are so many words against socialism, not socialism, but against the rules. And so the superior government said, okay, this is wrong, that you are going to the wrong way. Because we are building up this country of socialism, and of course it takes time, problem will show, but you need to keep on going. And then the people who ever said those bad words, the reality, were the people who considered were going on the upside way to capitalist. So another big disaster happened, which was in 1966, the Cultural Revolution. So the Cultural Revolution was to stop those, new thinkings. How to say? The main idea of the Cultural Revolution was to stop the superstitious, was to stop the feudal system, the feudal idea, and to stop the old thinking. For example, in feudal China, marriage was arranged by parents. So they stopped that. They said people could get married on your own will. That was good. And no, for example, no more superstitious. So you have to believe in technology, you have to believe in science. That was also good. But they took down all the temples, mosques. They believed those were all superstitious. They were praying to Buddha. They were praying to God. Those were all superstitious. So suddenly in China, during the Cultural Revolution, there was no belief. Everybody had to believe in science. Everybody had to believe in communist party. They couldn't believe in God. They couldn't believe in Buddha. No temples. Yeah. That was also a disaster of the spirits, of people's mind. And the worst thing was that all the people had to be loyal to the country, to Chairman Mao. Whoever said bad words against the Cultural Revolution were considered as people's enemy. So there was no humanity during Cultural Revolution. For example, if a child, if the father, a very well-educated father, he knew what was going on in the country and he knew it was wrong, he might said some words. He was put in jail, or he was walked in the street with the flag putting his front, writing people's enemy. And the others could throw eggs and throw rubbish and beat him in the street. And even as his wife and his family, his children even, couldn't show any sympathy to his father. Even the children had to show they're angry, same as the other people. So there was no humanity. It's like suddenly all the humanity was turned off. That everybody had to be loyal to the country, but not loyal to your parents. You don't need to have the faith and belief in your parents, but you need to have the belief in Communist Party. And this Cultural Revolution lasted for 10 years. So during those 10 years, the schools, the universities have been shut down. No university education. Just students from middle school and from high school, they were sent back to the farm because Chairman Mao said, you have to combine the studying and the practice on the farm together. You cannot only learn from the books, but you have to practice. So no universities and no colleges during those 10 years.